We've gotten a whole lot of new blocks in the 1.20 update. I wanted to do a little bit of a challenge for myself. As you may or may not know, I'm a little bit of a Minecraft builder. I like building stuff. And I was wondering if I could put together a Minecraft house using all of the blocks that are added in 1.20. And not just these blocks, only these blocks. This is gonna be a disaster. But you know what's life without being stupid every once in a while? Oh, I got an achievement. And let me tell you guys, I am very excited to put this together. I have got a crazy idea. So as I was flying around in my Minecraft world looking for a little bit of inspiration, I came across this really cool island. But if you look very closely, you can see the important thing which has caught my eye. It's actually right behind me. And if you don't see what I'm talking about, then check this out. We've got a jungle biome right here and a meadow biome filled with these beautiful pink flowers that are almost right next to each other. They're just barely separated by this dumb little forest right here. And I started thinking, I started scheming and plotting and coming up with funny little ideas in my funny little mind. And eventually I came up with the idea of a split treehouse. Imagine a mega tree sitting right on the border between a jungle and a meadow biome, with the jungle half made out of bamboo wood and the meadow half made out of cherry wood. And of course we're going to be filling it and decorating it with every single block added in 1.20 and nothing else. This is gonna be a mess, but I am so excited. First things first, let me get rid of this forest here. I'm gonna be filling this in with more jungle. That way we have this consistent borderline between the jungle biome and the meadow biome. Okay, forest is looking nice and deforested. You can really see how ugly the vanilla terrain here is, like geez. With a little bit of tree planting and a little bit of the fill biome command, I've extended this jungle biome all the way to the edges of the meadow here, and I've even done a little bit of preliminary work on the tree hybrid design right here. As you can see, I've shifted things around just a little bit. Instead of making a whole tree out of the bamboo wood, I figure it would make a lot more sense to just kind of have like a giant bamboo shoot rising up from the ground, almost like a mega magnified version of one of these guys. Of course, we're just dealing with rough shapes and rough outlines right now, but I'm gonna be going back and adding in a whole lot of detail. And I know it looks a little bit stupid right now, but bear with me, you guys. This is going to look amazing by the time we're done with it. I've also gone ahead and marked off the two blocks that we've already used, the cherry wood and the bamboo block right there. We've already used those in the build, so we don't need to use them anymore, and we still have to use all of these. Shape of the cherry tree is starting to come together. It's definitely a very different look than your standard cherry trees. I gotta say, it is really weird working on a half of a tree. All right, we got tons of little branches going every which way here, looking pretty fantastic. Once again, not entirely over this weird just separation here, but that is just part of the build. Now, normally when I like to make custom trees, I like to throw in a solid block every now and again, kind of just in the jumble of all the branches that is the same color of the leaves. And in an ideal world, I'd probably use something like, oh, I don't know, pink concrete or pink wool, but in this case we are not allowed to use those blocks, so in order to complement the cherry leaves, I think I'm actually going to be using the stripped cherry wood. Not too sure how this is going to turn out, but let's go give it a shot. And it's looking decent. It's definitely not the best tree I've ever made, but I mean, considering we're only using 3 blocks here, it definitely could be a lot worse. Just a general tip for cherry trees, I like to leave the middlemost sections pretty much leaf-free. This is actually something I had forgot earlier. I placed a lot of leaves in the middle here and then realized that it just didn't look very good. So I removed a lot of the leaves from the centermost sections, really trying to just keep them out on the edges of the branches here, and I definitely think it looks a lot better. We can go ahead and cross off the stripped cherry wood and the cherry leaves from our list. Oh my god, the sniffer egg hatched. I totally forgot about that. Hey buddy, there was a sniffer egg right here. Now there's just a little dude walking around. He just doesn't stop. All right, enjoy yourself. Gonna add a couple more branches on the lower sides here, this time just using the regular old cherry log. That is looking a lot better. Switching on back to the bamboo side of things, we definitely need to raise this up, and I like to add some windows on this side. A really great way of breaking up this monotony is just add in little bits of detail, like an entranceway, some windows, maybe some horizontal dividers along the sides here. Don't forget to decorate your windows, of course. Maybe even adding in a cute little bamboo balcony complete with signs, hanging signs, and a whole bunch of different types of slabs. 3 rows of windows looking pretty good, albeit a little bit squished on the side sometimes here. And that checks off a whole ton of blocks for us. us bamboo trapdoors, cherry trapdoors, all 3 different kinds of stairs, bamboo fences, bamboo gates, bamboo signs, and bamboo hanging signs, both kinds of bamboo slabs, the regular old cherry log, the stripped bamboo, and the bamboo mosaic. And we'll add in a couple bamboo doors right at the front entrance right there. Looking pretty good as far as a giant stock of bamboo goes. And most importantly, we've checked off a whole ton of blocks. But we do still have a good bit of cherry blocks here left to use, and I feel like I can work a few of these into the detail work behind me. Buttons, I feel like, could be a nice little touch amidst the leaves. They almost kind of look like budding cherry blossoms. Gonna be wedging in a few of the hanging signs and just kind of random little spots every now and again drooping down from the canopy. Knocking those 2 off the list. And that is because I want to try on something a little bit funky here. So, little known fact about hanging signs. If you've got one in the air like this, you can actually put other hanging signs underneath it, and you can put them at all these different angles, and it actually looks really cool. They kind of look like, decorations of some kind, like streamers or some sort of celebratory, like festival party decor, And I feel like if I do it right, they could look really nice, kind of streaming down from this cherry tree. I've got these 2 gradients in mind. This one kind of cycling through the colors, going from pink into red into orange all the way into yellow with the reuse of the bamboo sign. And the secondary one kind of taking advantage of the dark to light gradient we have here with the dark oak, spruce, oak, and birch. This is going to cover every single hanging sign in the game except for the warped one, which is unfortunately going to be left out. But don't worry, little guy, we're going to find a spot for you on the interior. And yeah, that actually looks really good. I was low-key a little bit skeptical with this idea. I was saying I just wanted to try it out, but man, this turned out really cool. I have kind of like doubled back on some of the gradients here. You can see this one gets to light and then back to dark again, and then even starts going back to light a second time. It turned out really well. This looks nice and festive and floral and honestly really dope. So yeah, that's every single hanging sign out of the way. Except for the poor little warped sign. Shifting back to the bamboo side of things, I want to just raise this up a little bit more and then kind of top off the top of the bamboo shoot here. Unfortunately, I can't use leaves or anything to create like a little bamboo tuft, so I think I'm going to try and kind of slice it at a diagonal, almost like someone took a giant samurai sword and just went wacha. But yeah, that takes care of the bamboo planks. And then because we've got this really cute little balcony on this side, I think I want to have a matching balcony on this side. I'm going to put it a little bit lower, probably right about here. So I'm just going to start kind of carving out a little space here, making sure that it is too wide so it lines up with the rest of the structure. Of course, we're going to surround this with a bunch of slabs, put some cherry log at the various corners, got some safety railings around the side. That knocks out signs, gates, fences, and the stripped log as well as the slab. And maybe we'll put a couple trapdoors on top of there for good measure. Boink. And with all these petals and particles that are just raining down from this huge cherry tree canopy, you'd think there'd be some collecting on the ground here. Something like that, perhaps? Boink. We could even do a couple cherry saplings just beginning to take root around the large roots of the mother tree over here for a little bit of extra variety in the foliage, And with that, this exterior is looking pretty great, but we still have an entire interior to take care of and many more blocks to go through. I'm sure you've noticed by now that the majority of the blocks that I've been saving here are ones that are usually best fit for an interior, so let's get right on that. Turning on night vision for myself here because we don't actually have a way of lighting this build, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's just what we've got in the 1.20 update, so you guys are gonna have to deal with all those particles coming off of me. Normally for a build that's as vertical as this, I would be using ladders, but of course, we don't got ladders, so we have to improvise a little bit here. I'm using a stair design that I've definitely not blatantly stolen from BOO, where we've got these these trapdoors here that kind of act as a very, very thin stair block, which means we can ascend incredibly quickly for how much horizontal space we take up. We can keep going up all these different floors. You can see the entrance to the cherry balcony. There's one more staircase right here, brings you out to the bamboo balcony, and then one more staircase going up this way brings you to what is going to be the top floor here. And we've definitely got a lot more wall space here on the bamboo half, but that I actually want to fill with a little bit of shelving. Boink. You see, a lot of these blocks are like decorative blocks that I feel like really look best when they're on a shelf of some kind. But before we get to the interior design, I just want to knock out a few more remaining blocks that we have not used yet. Just gonna sneak in 2 bits of cherry planks on the edge there, just so we don't see the exposed face of the stripped wood. We can throw in a couple cherry doors on the top floor here, kind of to just gate this section in a little bit more, and this acts as more of like a formal entrance way into the canopy, which you can now go and run around in. Quite the interesting parkour challenge, by the way. We've got some bamboo pressure plates on the inside of the front entranceway. I'm gonna put some bamboo buttons on there so we can get out. Same thing goes for the top floor here. And finally, on the ground floor, we are gonna do an exceedingly ugly pattern of checkerboard, suspicious sand, and suspicious gravel. Low-key makes me want to vomit, but we have to use the blocks, so what are you gonna do? The ground floor is going to have a couple skulk sensors sitting on top of the warped hanging signs as a weird little like shelf slash display area kind of thing. I don't really know what this is supposed to be, but it uses up 2 of our blocks. Using some commands, we can put the upper half of the pitcher plant kind of just scattered all over the place in this basement level. Don't ask me what's going on down here. I really don't know, but it's certainly blue. It got a bit more unusual decor on the second floor here. Once again, really just matching by the general color scheme here. We got the torch flowers and the sniffer eggs and the piglin heads, because, you know, they had to go somewhere. 3 more blocks taken care of. And really, we only have 2 more unique blocks to work with, so I'm just doing my best here with the chiseled bookshelves and the decorated pots. And yeah, this whole area just feels a little bit more filled in, and most importantly, we have now used every single block that is new to 1.20 and nothing else. Limiting yourself to a specific set of blocks, or in this case a very wacky set of blocks, definitely imposes some very interesting challenges, and when you're feeling up for the grind, it is actually really cool and quite rewarding to see what your creativity and your imagination can come up with. So yeah, I really enjoyed this project, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, consider doing that as well. And until next time, you guys, I will see you all in the next Minecraft 1.20 building video.